Viewers, good evening. Thank you for joining me on India Upfront, a day after Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented budget worth rupees 48.2 lakh crores. The opposition is still busy crunching the numbers. But unfortunately, it is not from the point of view of national interest. Instead, the focus is firmly on political interest. United against what they called a biased budget, India bloc leaders today got together to protest both inside and outside the parliament. Their complaint list had allegations from attack on fiscal federalism to save Sarkar budget to minimum support price paid to allies. Listen in.
समर्थन मूल्य किसान को न मिलकर के जो अलायंस पार्टनर जो सरकार बचा रहे हैं उन्हें समर्थन मूल्य सरकार दे रही है। ये तो अखबारों में भी छपा है।
जिन राज्यों के समर्थन से सरकार मुश्किल से चल पा रही है, जैसे कि बिहार और आंध्रा, उनको सब कुछ लुटा दिया गया। तो इससे तो यही सार मिलता है कि जो राज्य भाजपा को कम वोट देता है उसे ज्यादा दिया जाएगा।
सरकार बचाओ योजना कल घोषित की है, यूनियन बजट नहीं था वो। वैसे ही प्रधानमंत्री महाराष्ट्र विरोधी योजना कल बजट में दिखाई दी।
ஒரு சில மாநிலங்களுக்கு மட்டும் சில திட்டங்களை அறிவிச்சிருக்காங்களே தவிர அதையும் நிறைவேற்றுவாங்களான்றது சந்தேகம் தான் என்ன பொறுத்த வரைக்கும்।
করুন 21 সালের পরে আপনি ক পয়সা 100 দিনের কাজের খাতায় আর আপনি আবাস যোজনায় বাংলাকে দিয়েছেন, 10 পয়সা যদি প্রমাণ করতে পারে আমি রাজনীতি ছেড়ে দেবো।
Other states also should get justice. Without giving justice to other states, they are giving only one or two states. Will have a big problem on federal system. That's why we are agitating.
However, there is one particular grudge that found many proponents in opposition ranks, that apart from Andhra Pradesh and Bihar, even the names of other states did not find mention in Nirmala Sitharaman's speech, a charge that Finance Minister rubbished as outrageous.
Congress party has been in power for a very long time in this country. They presented so many different budgets, and they would know clearly that in every budget, you don't get an opportunity to name every state of this country. I'll take this example. Cabinet has, under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, passed a very important decision. It has taken the decision to set up a very big port in Vadavan in Maharashtra. Did Maharashtra get ignored because I did not mention the name of Maharashtra? Even yesterday, the TMC questioned the budget, saying, oh, nothing has been given to Bengal. Let me just highlight the fact that the several schemes given by Honorable Prime Minister in the last 10 years have not even been implemented in West Bengal. Health insurance. And you have the audacity to ask me now? Bengal should correct its course. This is a deliberate attempt of the opposition parties led by the Congress party to give an impression to the people, oh, nothing has been given to our states, it's only been given to 2 states. I would challenge the Congress party for all the budget speeches that they've delivered, that in each of the budget speeches, have they named every state of this country?
So did the finance ministers in UPA dispensations name all states in their budget speeches? Here's a fact check, viewers. Look at what I'm about to tell you closely. States not mentioned in budget speeches by finance ministers from the Congress. The year is 2004. Mr. P. Chidambaram, the finance minister, did not name Chhattisgarh, Kerala, Delhi. He did not mention Gujarat, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. Let's come to the next year. Mr. Chidambaram is the finance minister. The year is 2005. He did not name Haryana. Mr. Chidambaram did not utter the word Kerala, Delhi, Uttarakhand, Madhya Pradesh. Even Maharashtra was left out from budget speech. This is only about the name. Come to 2006. P. Chidambaram again did not mention Himachal Pradesh, Bihar, did not mention Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. The list goes on. In 2007, Mr. Chidambaram did not mention Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Maharashtra, Jharkhand. And I have the data here with me, and that will run throughout the show while we call out this hypocrisy and disinformation. Let's open this up on that note. Shazia Ilmi, the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Sanjay Jha, author, Karan Bhasin, economist. Suhail Seth needs no introduction. Dr. Riju Datta, the national spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress. Professor Subodh Mehta completes the panel, national spokesperson of the RJD. Sanjay Jha. Now, I can understand that if you have, problem with data, that, data that you can cite to present a case. But what is this narrative? That the finance minister in her speech did not mention these states. So the budget is discriminatory. I just read out a list. What do you make of this? 2004, these states were not named. Kerala, Delhi, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu. Did you discriminate against these states? Did the Congress party do discrimination?
Pranesh, good evening to you and to my fellow panelists on the program. You need to understand the quintessential point that the opposition is trying to make, that a budget is about addressing the needs of the country, including all the states, the union territories, etc., etc. And therefore, whenever you have to look at allocating a certain set of financial resources for the year that the government has earmarked, whether it's in capital investment or various welfare subsidies or a combination of the two, then you have to make sure that it may not be equitable because different states have different needs. So it may not be totally proportionate, but it must be balanced and fair. I think the general takeaway, and I can tell you if you really look at the numbers very carefully, there is no running away from the truth that this government today survives completely on the support of Andhra Pradesh and Bihar, the JDU and the TDP. That's a political reality. We can't pretend as if we don't know that. Now, both the states, we all know that if the two parties back out, this government collapses today. If they do it today, there will be a new prime minister tomorrow. So I do understand that both the states are asking for a special category, which means if you look at the special category status that they're asking for, it actually comes with a very different framework. It comes with concessional loans. It comes with greater degree of central assistance. It actually ensures that the state is able to get some benefits which are on softer terms and not just overly reliant on the central government implementing certain projects in the states, which is what Nirmala Sitharaman has done in this budget. And that makes it a very lopsided and skewed distribution of investment that is planned. I don't think anybody who's got a rational and is not prejudiced against the opposition will be able to deny that there is a lot of economic rationale in that argument, Pranesh. That if you were the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, if Suhail was the Chief Minister of, say, take any other state in India, which is not these two states, you would feel, have I been done in by this budget? Because you're all responsible for the people who are living in your state. It's a very fair call. It's a very reasonable call. It's a logical call. It might appear to a lot of people.
Let me extend that logic. No, 1 minute. Mr. Jha. No, 1 minute, sir. 1 minute. I'm only extending that logic and asking you this question. According to what you said, if these states that I just read out, they were not named in the budget speech of Mr. Chidambaram in 2004, 5, 6, and the list is long.
Right.
Did the Congress government or the UPA government discriminate against them?
No. I'm glad you asked. Pranesh, I'm glad you asked that. You are not supposed to take that in that very literal sense. What is the message of that? The message is simple, that you have not given the respect that all states deserve. I don't think the Congress or any other party is saying that Andhra Pradesh and Bihar don't need extra financial assistance that they have required. But there are different mechanisms of doing it. And the center has actually done a sleight of hand. This is what is called as the right word.
But there is no sleight of hand. I have the data. 1 minute. There is no sleight of hand. Before I bring in Shazia Ilmi and Suhail said, there is no sleight of hand, Sanjay Jha. Maharashtra, I am telling you the share remains constant at 6.31%. In the budget allocation for Maharashtra in 23 was 51,587 crores. We will put out that graphic shortly. Allocation in 23-24, 69,770 crore, went up from the previous year. And this year, the allocation is 78,786 crores. So where is the sleight of hand? Neither in name or in number.
Pranesh,
Suhail said, what is this that we are seeing?
Pranesh, you can do cherry picking. That's not the way to handle this problem, I'm telling you.
I think
can't
you're on
hear
mute,
Suhail.
Suhail, we can't hear you.
Sorry. Sanjay, my friend, is one of the most erudite people on television. So, Sanjay, I will ask you with Pranesh's permission, how many states and how many union territories are there in India, my friend?
Now, how is that relevant to the conversation?
No, I'll tell you why. You answer the question. Now, I've asked a question. How many states are there in India and how many union territories?
No, I don't have to answer.
I'll tell you, my friend, I'll tell you. There are 28 states in the Union of India and 8 union territories, which adds up to 36. If the finance minister were to take the name of every state and every union territory, she would not have a budget left. So that's number one. Number two, I think the issue is not whose name was taken. The issue was, and the issue is, as Pranesh rightly said, is have allocations been made? The problem is, and you, I understand, because you would have that knowledge, you may not want to express it now. Half the people in parliament who are raising the issue कि states के नाम नहीं दिए, आप उनको बोलिए 28 states के आप नाम बोल दीजिए, they won't have a clue. So that could be an argument. But I'm not even going there. Yes, you're right. This government came to power because of the support of Bihar and Andhra. Is there anything wrong with that? No. Coalition politics has always followed this dharma, including in the Congress. Number two, did they make a promise to Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar? Of course they must have. They have delivered on that promise. How does your concern, Sanjay, or anyone's concern should be if there is deprivation to other states at the cost and because of Andhra and Bihar? So if my good friend Riju Datta says Bengal has suffered because Andhra and Bihar have gained, then there's a reasonable argument. But to say why are names not being mentioned, to my mind, is odious. Number 4, and I will stop with this. I think, as Pranesh says, the devil lies in the details. We should all sit back, examine what are the budgetary provisions, A and B. Abhishek Banerjee said just now that Bengal has not received any of those funds. Nirmala Sitharaman on the floor of the House in the Rajya Sabha said Bengal has received all the programs, but they have not implemented them. Now that's a question between Bengal and the central government. But to, throw the baby with the bathwater, to my mind, is not only illogical, it is unfair. And you cannot take the names of every state and every union territory. Then it's like a laundry list. I'll stop there.
Riju Datta, how is this discrimination, sir?
Let me be very blunt rather than beating around the bush. There is no problem in, like Suhailji said, in a coalition government. No problem in giving funds to Bihar and Andhra. We have no issues with giving funds to Bihar and Andhra. But when the people of Bengal are paying equal amount of taxes, when the union government, remember, India is a union of states, and Bengal is paying equal amounts of GST, which you take from us, and then 59 lakh Manrega workers are not being paid their rightful dues for 3 years, and the state government has to pay that. That is called deprivation. When in Awas Plus, and I'm saying this for all the viewers of this national channel, in Awas Plus Yojana, 11 lakh houses are deprived of a single penny for the last 3 years after all checks and balances were verified by the union government. Now we have promised to give them houses by December. That is called deprivation. I know you are running a creaky, shaky government. You are running a Mili-Juli Sarkar. You have to keep your Mili-Juli Sarkar buoyant. You have to keep your friends happy. No issues, you do that. But you give us our rightful dues. You're not there with a begging bowl. You are taking taxes. Now, why will people of Bengal pay taxes for bridges and temples to be built in Bihar? What is the logic behind it? Please give us our rightful due. We are not asking for anything that has been given to Bihar and Andhra Pradesh. They also need the money. The states need the money. But what is the union government doing? This government, like my leader said on the floor of the parliament, is a faulty government. The budget was a faulty budget presented by a faulty finance minister. And I'm saying this on record, that this government will not stand. They can bribe their alliance partners for a mere amount of time, but they have got their pound of flesh and they have tasted blood. It's a matter of time that this government implodes.
Okay.
So I will say this to the BJP people watching
minimum
your show,
support
Pranesh,
price to
and
your
all the
allies.
BJP leaders. What my leader said, kursi ki peti बांध लीजिए, मौसम बिगड़ने वाला है.
Suhail is saying something.
All alliances have a big give and take. All alliances. When Mamata Di was in an alliance, there was a give and take. When she had partnered with I'm talking about Vajpayee years, the give and take is a given. Now, Riju makes a very important point. That Bengal has been deprived its fair share in spite of the contribution that it makes in revenue terms through taxation. If the central government does not adhere to its promises, take them to court. Take them to Supreme Court and say that the states and the cooperative federalism that the Prime Minister spoke about on assuming power in 2014 is not being adhered to.
No, but Mr. Suhail said, I'm just adding to it. I read out the numbers of Maharashtra. Look at West Bengal's share. Over the last 3 years, it remains constant at 7.5% of the total allocation. In 22-23, it was 61,436 crores. The next year, 23-24, it was 83,091 crores. And in this year's budget, the allocation is 93,827 crores. But however, let's bring in the BJP spokesperson. Shazia Ilmi is waiting to respond to what Riju Datta said and what Sanjay Jha asked.
So I've heard a lot of things. I wish I'd heard some facts. It's like saying that, I've been through a lot. I wish some of it really happened. So I'm sure you all mean well. They were very well-crafted sentences. So on one hand, Sanjay ji was either very confused. On the other hand, I think Raju Bista was just trying to confuse others. Let me tell you, just like Suhail just mentioned, and Pranesh before that, if a budget speech does not mention the state, as it did not mention Maharashtra, it does not mean that it is not that there are projects are not allocated to it. We all know when it comes to collections of taxes, the GST Council itself epitomizes what is cooperative federalism, what is competitive federalism. One thing, and all the state finance ministers sit there and discuss when it comes to receipts, taxes, allocations and outlays. Secondly, and more importantly, Bihar was mentioned, Andhra was mentioned, Himachal was mentioned, Orissa wasn't mentioned, Maharashtra wasn't mentioned. How do you explain that? I mean, it's not as simple as that, or it's not as simplistic as that. So either people are saying that they have a problem and there's actually no allocation for their states, either are just naive, they need to do better, know more, about the budget and how it works, or they just plain simple line. Thirdly, and most importantly, if I just read out the allocation that is there for West Bengal, you all will be shocked. It's one of the highest allocations. It's only gone up. But when you hear them speak, they have been given nothing. Now when you hear what all has been promised by West Bengal to people of Darjeeling and Kalimpong, and also those who have suffered the hands of floods, you realize that the central contribution for the central ministries was far more than that of state. And in fact, the state funds have not even reached the people. So the center funds are better managed. So one is allocation of funds and two is management of funds. If your government is bad at management, steals more, doesn't plug leakages, then that's your problem. But at least don't lie about allocation. Let me tell you, the allocation to West Bengal is 125,444 crores. And I can tell you, I have all the figures, all the states, 28 of them. Yes, Sanjay ji is 28. States. You must remember that next time because you speak to
both hands so much going up.
Some
Sanjay Jha and Dr. Riju Datta. So both of them want to come in. Let me bring in Mr. Jha first. Riju, I'm coming to you. Let me bring in Sanjay Jha.
Stop lying all the time.
Okay. Quick response. You're on mute, sir. Sir, you're on mute.
Yeah, here is the bottom line, Pranesh, that a lot of people are not following. And you're missing the woods for the trees. And Pranesh, I want to put this before the other panelists come in. What is the special category status? Does anybody know on the panel? Let me ask a counter question here. What is the special category status? It basically does not mean that from the budget, you're going to make an allocation of funds for XYZ states. Special category status is about giving the state a permanent opportunity, which may be revoked at some point in the future, about getting access to funds at cheaper rates. It's about getting, for example, a central assistance program that comes in where the state's contribution is lowered at maybe at 10%.
So what are you arguing, Sanjay Jha?
Also,
the special status, the special status should have been given. Is that your argument?
Exactly, and this is the point I wish to make. Shazia, will you learn to wait for 50
I wish you knew what you were saying.
For 1 minute, you made a statement. I'm challenging you. The Finance Minister of India is on record to say that...
It's just gibberish, my dear friend.
Don't try and interrupt.
Can you make sense of what you're saying?
No, let him make his point. I'll come back to you. Shazia Ilmiji, I'll come back to you.
Yeah, this is the standard operating procedure. Interrupt when you have no idea. The simple truth, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman is on record to say that no more special category status will be given to states. And that's exactly why in the budget, what I think Riju Jatta
finance, 1 minute. Sanjay Jha, 1 minute. You are talking as if you are from the... No, 1 minute. As if you are from the TDP. The TDP is happy with the allocation, but Sanjay Jha is not.
I'm talking about TMC in West Bengal, not TDP. That's
no. TDP has been wanting the special... TDP has been wanting that status. In fact, many in the Congress promised them that status if they had lent their support to the India Alliance. That did not happen.
But let me tell you, TDP and the JDU is already under pressure. RJD is already questioning JDU why the special category status has not been given to Bihar.
The RJD leaders were... Right. No, 1 minute. I'll tell you RJD, less said the better about the RJD of what they've done in this budget.
What do you mean?
I'll tell you what I mean. I'll tell you. They were waving Junjuna. 58,000 crore rupees given to... No, 1 minute. They were waving Junjuna in the assembly, protesting against the budget. 58,000 crores allocated to Bihar. Subodh Mehta ji, मैं आ रहा हूं आपके पास. Let's get the economist on the panel. Karan Bhasin.
Yes. I want to make one quick point because Sanjay Jha was talking about special status and I was really hoping he would have gone through the budget. But since he's talking about concessional loans, maybe he may want to relook at the budget itself because Finance Minister categorically committed concessional lending for both Bihar and for both TDP from multi-unilateral institution banks. So when he's talking about special status as if that hasn't been given, but that is there in the budget and it has been given to these two states. So where is the confusion regarding this? I don't know where it's coming from. The second thing, because I want to put this out there for your viewers and also for the benefit of many politicians on the panel who presumably have been out of power for long, that there are two aspects to fiscal federalism. One is, of course, what the Finance Commission determines is the share of taxes that goes to state, and that is, some sacrosanct that is determined by the Finance Commission and happens as per a fixed formula. And then there's the other issue, which is about additional expenditure that the union government does on different states. And if you look at those allocations, they have broadly remained constant. So no matter how you look at these numbers, I don't see any discrimination whatsoever.
But Riju Datta still believes that there is some discrimination. He didn't quite get what Shazia Ilmi was trying to say.
Can I come in?
Yes.
Can I come in now?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, to Suhailji on the panel. Suhailji, get ready for a big laugh. Now, let me educate the unprepared BJP spokespersons who come on national TV and make nonsensical statements. The funds that she said that is allocated to Bengal, let me give you some examples. Joka Majerat Esplanade Metro, 1210 crores. Damdam New Godiad Metro, 1791 crores. Kolkata Metro, 906 crores. Bose Institute Calcutta, 91.5 crores. Asiatic Society, 21 crores. Chittaranjan National Cancer Institute, 66.5 crores. Now, you know what the funny part is, what BJP do not understand and their spokesperson don't prepare is that these are union or central government run institutions. The funds that you are sending to them is not the funds for the people of Bengal. It is just like saying to upkeep Taj Mahal on a daily basis for its maintenance, we are giving funds to the UP government. Now, do you understand how
1 minute, Dr. Riju Datta, 1 minute. I just have a question. While Shazia will answer the question that you posed to her about, the grants, Going by what you said, you know, even Sanjay Jha was making that point that, look, you're giving so much to Andhra Pradesh. It's not as if the money is going to Mr. Naidu. It is for the people of the state.
I am not saying. No, Pranesh, you have got me wrong. I have never said in my opening remark or in this remark that the... Sir, just let me finish. One second, let me finish. Swell, let me finish. I am not saying that the money has gone to Nitish Ji's pocket or Chandrababu Naidu's pocket. No. If Andhra wants to build their capital, I am no one to complain, or TMC is not complaining. What TMC is saying, you are taking GST from us, give us the tax devolution funds. Why have you withheld them? Give us the Manrega funds, give us the Awas Plus funds. Why have you withheld the funds? We have no problem.
Okay, why are the funds withheld? Shazia Ilmi?
Bihar or Andhra Pradesh. Why are you withholding our funds?
Okay, two things.
Coming to Suhail, coming to you after
One,
Shazia.
I have a correction to make. Okay. Yeah. So, one, I have a correction to make. I want to correct myself about this, just the numbers. So, the allocation to West Bengal is 93,827,000 crores. So, what I said earlier was incorrect. I'll correct myself here. And that is again a huge number. And I can tell you exactly how it's been done and what are the taxes, what are the receipts, and what is the outlay for the state of West Bengal, and how many times the state finance minister in the GST council, there have been plans and asking for ask when it comes to new allocations, and how many times there have been meetings. All that is there. I think clearly
what Dr. Datta is asking you that Bengal has not got what it deserves.
No, let me finish.
That is what he's saying.
You know, the other day, Aam Aadmi Party was saying that they have not got anything from the centre until we read out and until we saw the allocation. So he can say anything, right? But this is what's there. And as Suhail said just now, they can go to court. That's very serious. Are they actually saying they've got nothing as much as they deserve?
Okay, let's get in Suhail said. Dr. Mehta, I'm coming to you.
Yes. Let's imagine. No, I want to say something. No, Pranesh, let me finish. Pranesh, let me finish. Suhail, just 10 seconds.
Yeah. Let's imagine what Riju has said is true, that it's the center which is funding central institutions. Fair enough. Nirmala Sitharaman, on the floor of the Rajya Sabha today, has said the following. The West Bengal government has not implemented a large amount of programs under the Prime Minister's Yojana, whatever those programs may be. So obviously that is distinct from these institutions that have received or should receive funding. My simple thing is, if that is the situation, run a privileges motion against her, because that is tantamount to lying on the floor of the House. Why would the finance minister, who has otherwise got an unblemished track record and is not a dishonest person, why would she say that too when she knows she could attract privileges?
Okay. Subodh Mehta, RJD leaders are saying Bihar को झुंझुना मिला. BJP ये कह रही है कि आपको 58,000 crores मिले हैं.
Look, now the 2-3 points I have to make. The first is that about the special category to Bihar. Now, when 2000, when Bihar was divided into two states, Jharkhand came in, and all the liabilities that was there went to Bihar, and then Chief Minister Rabri Devi went to the Finance Committee and met Prime Minister Bajpayee, and they agreed that yes, Bihar needs a special status category, and that was in the 11th Finance Commission. After that, till date we are demanding, and Nitish Kumar is making all halla gulla that we want a special status, but they have compromised due to the various political factors that everyone knows. Now coming to the allocation that you are talking about, 58,000 crore. My dear friend, you should know that 26,000 crore is on the bridges and the roads, which all the corridors which the finance minister talked about, like the Patna and Purnia corridor, it was already, in progress in 2022. We talk about the Mahabodhi corridor, it was already there in 2023. You talk about the Amritsar corridor, that is already there in 2021. So that 26,000 crore is just a, say, mosaic and it is a wrong presentation in the budget. And the second thing which we talk about, that the power project in the Bhagalpur, which will have a 21,000 crore budget, and that project was already announced by Pradhan Mantri Manmohan Singh in 2014, in the beginning of the 2014. And when you talk about the project like Kosi project of 11,000 crore, 11,500 crore, that project is almost nothing, like a peanut. We need more than that. So the point of a special status was totally denied. It was our right. It was in the 11th Finance Commission, and the 14th Finance Commission said that there is no special category provisions now. But our demand is very old, so we need that. And the second thing is that about the allocation. The allocation is totally is a wrong presumption which has been given to the Bihar. And the last which I am talking about, the core issue that India is facing today is of employment. And on the employment front, we still have a 9.4% unemployment in India. The core issues of health, education was not taken care of. The core issue of agriculture was not taken care of. When you look to the budget of education, it is only 1,20,000 crore. When you look to the budget of
on the first 2 points, Dr. Mehta,
1,50,000 crore. When you look to the health.
Right, Professor. Now, on the first
30 seconds. It's only 90,000 crore.
I get the drift of your argument. On the first 2 points, let's get a quick response from the BJP. Then I'll bring in Karan.
So Pranesh, I just want to say, yes. So Pranesh, there are two things. My friend here from RJD. And I want to tell him that he feels not enough has been done for Bihar, while my other friend here from TMC insists that too much has been done for Bihar. And they seem to be on the same side. I don't know where Mamta is at this point of time. So just see the contradictions within. RJD feels it's a junjana. Mamta feels it's just too much. It is for Sarkar bachane ke liye and to keep the allies together. This is dharma, politics of coalition dharma. On the other hand, Congress party, Sanjay Jha, and I would like to ask him, they keep saying this is cut, copy, paste. These were all our ideas. You're just cutting, copying and pasting and making them yours. Then you say it's very disappointing. So either you say that we are cutting, copying and pasting, making your ideas ours, or if you're copying and cutting and pasting yours and they were originally your ideas, you should not be disappointed with them. So there is so much of gobbledygook, so much of contradiction. Not one specific figure has been given as to what was deserved, what could have been allocated.
Okay, let's talk specific. Sanjay Jha, quickly.
No way throughout the day.
Quick point, I'll bring in Karan then.
Yeah. In short, Shazia, please stop misleading the viewers of Times Now. Copy-paste was referred to the angel tax decision. Copy-paste was talking about your hijacking the Congress's employment guarantee schemes and the internship program and the softer loans. It was not about the entire budget. In fact, if you had borrowed the entire manifesto, I think the people of the country would have given you a 10 on 10. But now the more important question, Pranesh.
No, Mr. Jha, why didn't the country vote for the Congress on the manifesto that you're talking about?
I do believe the country will vote for the original party and not the fakery party in the next elections coming up in the next 6 months. But Pranesh, can I make my point? There's a bigger point here. The principal point is the BJP follows the policy of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Now, what would the central, if there was a special category status given, then the point that Riju and other people made, which is that you are making your own capital investment, which is a central program, and nothing is coming to the states. Under the special category status, central assistant programs, the state's contribution is just 10%. That is the big benefit that the states get. Secondly, if a state is not able to use the funds, as Nirmala Sitharaman said in Parliament, accusing West Bengal that you haven't used the funds, if you're a special category status state, you can carry forward that lapsed amount into the next financial year or the next plan.
No, but on that, Mr. Jha, look, the 14th Finance Commission now you can't selectively cherry pick. You can't suddenly quote from the 11th Finance Commission and make one point and then not agree to what the 14th Finance Commission has said.
They want the status, right?
But Karan Bhasin, is there merit to what Professor Mehta argued and what Sanjay Jha is saying?
No, so in 30 minutes, we have seen Mr. Jha go from concessional loan to everything under the sun. So that itself tells you, what their point is, which is basically virtually nothing. But coming to the issue of special status for Bihar, given that concessional lending has been provided to Bihar, given that its allocation has gone up, and given that, essentially now it's up to the government of Bihar to make use of the concessional lending facility, I don't see where the problem is. A lot of the money that has been spent or allocated is to finish projects which were initiated before, and that's a positive thing. You don't want to start new things and not complete. That's the problem with Indian state, that of lately, at least over the last 20, 30 years, there were projects that were announced, but they weren't finished. At least over the last 10 years, we are finishing those projects, and that's why these allocations are important. You can't go around making new announcements and making new projects without finishing the existing ones. So I don't know why he has a problem if, some of these allocations are to complete and finish existing programs and, infrastructure development. I think that's a welcome sign and he should appreciate it.
And Suhail,
projects worth 23 lakh crores. I want to tell the economist, I don't know which university is he from. I hope it's not a WhatsApp university. 23 lakh crores worth of investments have been jeopardized in 2 years. Have been scrapped.
Sanjay,
do you know the data?
Sanjay,
how do you assume that projects
I went to universities where they will not even entertain your application. So please keep your personal remarks to yourself.
Don't worry about it. But 23 lakh crores.
No, 1 minute. Gentlemen, please, let's not get personal here. Please. Suhail. You're on mute, Suhail. You're on mute for the third time.
Yeah, because I'm listening to so much of balderdash. So, Chandrababu Naidu, if he's known for anything, it is his rigor of implementation. He was the one long before Narendra Modi who became a technocrat chief minister and did wonders for Andhra before the split of states. So let's cut him some slack. It is money which I hope and I'm sure will be well used by a person of Chandrababu Naidu's rigor and stature. And I don't think there is any whataboutery. Because you didn't mention the name of this particular state, that means you're stepmotherly. I have tweeted until I got a clarification from someone on Twitter. I tweeted saying Maharashtra is not being given stepmotherly but absent motherly treatment. Until someone actually said these are the programs that are currently underway, under implementation. And I corrected myself, as we must. Now, Riju, who I have a lot of respect for, I don't know if Riju, my good friend, is confusing funding of central institutions versus funds which are earmarked but have not been used. That is something that the jury is out on, and we need clarification. I'm not contesting whatever Riju says.
Even on the larger point of share of funds under UPA and under NDA, Bengal got 7.26% under the UPA in 2013-14, 12-13 and 11-12. And under NDA, the last 3 years, the share has been 7.5%. So it's slightly higher than the UPA. But we've run out of time on this.
RJD is the best party here. RJD knows how to use state funds. They have been the users of state funds in a dramatic way. Where the funds go will again be, outlined. But as Mr. Mehta says, that it's all, make-believe. And we have to believe Mr. Mehta, because obviously Mr. Mehta is saying it from some experience that these funds may not reach the necessary objective. And as he talked about the power plant and all that, point I'm making is don't disaway the entire budget because a particular name of a state or a union territory was not taken. I mean, that is ridiculous.
Right.
And illogical.
Okay. Viewers, let's move on. We were talking about budget and allocation. I thank some of you for joining us on Debate 1.